Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. It's been a while actually. So today I'm going to be doing a Tearlaments deck profile. Now the reason I'm doing this is not because, basically I've been holding off on posting this for a while just because I haven't personally shown much results with it. However, I have put a lot of theory and testing into the deck. To be completely honest, I feel like I have the right list, but I'm just not good enough a player to be able to see success on it. So hopefully someone else can take the ideas or the theories from this list and at least perform better than I did. But anyway, should we get into the deck profile?
Of course.
So when I was at YCS London, actually, pretty much everyone I played against asked me for my list, so that's why I finally decided to post the list. So to start off, 3 Rhino Heart. Now the reason I'm playing 3 Rhino Heart instead of 2 is just because I think this card is like underrated how good it is to actually mill it as well. It can actually dump itself from hand. There's some really cool chain links where if you have like one of this in hand and one of this on field, you can essentially, if you mill a Scream plus this in grave, you can go chain link 1, chain link 2 Scream, even if your only other target is Rhino Heart, which is kind of cool. It has come up.
Also, it's the only one you can play 3 of now.
Shut up. No, you're wrong actually. There's another one. So 1 Sharon, 1 Havness, 1 Merly. I wish we could play more, but unfortunately we can't. This is fine. Doesn't need to be explained. This card, which I can play at 3 as well. Unfortunately, it's a Psychic, which has like literally no synergy. It's really unfortunate, but
It is still a water Tearlaments monster.
it is. But it's a really cool card just because like it gives you a mill 5. It's still solid, and it's good to search for interruption in your opponent's turn as well. 3 Fenrir to search this mainly, and also as a going second card. This is really solid into Kashtira as well. If you are playing into a Rise Height Pass, this puts a lot of pressure on. The other thing about this as well is if they do make the Shangri-La board, and they Shangri-La in standby phase, you just make a free Arise Heart and you make a free Zeus.
Nice ulties.
Yeah, I wonder where I got those from. So 3 King of the Swamp. This is the fusion lineup. Unfortunately, you have to play this card, which I hate because
I think you pronounced Kekalos wrong.
Yeah, rest in peace. 1 Beast and 2 Gamma Seal. The Beast is just for the Winder. This still catches people off guard, surprisingly. 2 Gamma Seal. This card is awesome, and it's an Aqua, which means you can use it to fuse into to Kaleido Heart. I'm playing 2 in the main, and I'm siding something else, and I'll show you. Basically, the only reason I'm playing 2 is because 3 was a bit cloggy for me. You don't really want to open this going first. And going second, even still, like it can be a brick against certain decks. The Fairy package, I would love to play more of these. Unfortunately, I can't. These cards probably should never have been printed.
Probably not, but Konami does what it wants.
For the rest of the fairies, I'm playing 3 Diviner. I'm playing the Mikanko engine. I'm only playing 1 and 1. Opening this is always terrible because like it's so hard to get to a 6 nowadays, like especially with the lack of names. To get to like either a Garua, basically if you open this, like you have to specifically open both of these cards, or you can't. It's really difficult to get to your Beatrice. And then for the last fairy, I played this monstrosity because this card is unfair. An example of me being a bad player at YCS London. To be fair, it was a very complex game state. I just shuffled back 1 shy of enough targets to summon this, but if I had, I won the game. So again, that's just me being bad. 3 Palarino. Again, this card is awesome. I'm not playing the Wraithsoft because it just doesn't really do enough. 3 Scream. this card is pretty important, and 3 Heartbeat as well. Now the reason I decided to play 3 Heartbeat is because I was losing to like random, like especially with like trap. I expected a lot of trap tricks. I think the thing about this card as well is like it just catches the off guard, like the traps that you're just not expecting. It's also good going first into Kashtira, because if you set this, like you can sometimes deal with the planet or the Beth, and the discard is usually not really an egg. Like usually the discard actually gets you something. That's why I'm playing things like 3 Scream, just to make sure that like I always have a decent discard for this, and obviously with the Mekanko discard as well. This is solid. I actually cut Cosmic Cyclone for this because, again, like just losing in time because you Cosmic Cycloned a Runic Field spell is like feels bad. 1 Reborn. This card is actually nuts. Simply because like you reborn this and it just turns your Diviner into like crazy things. It's kind of okay with some other stuff as well, but mainly this is for the Diviner. 1 Foolish because you have to play this card now. 1 Terraforming just to search a field spell. 1 Crime and 1 Suliek. I didn't play Meta Noise because like every time I saw it, it was just dead. Or just didn't do enough. Like the only time Meta Noise was really good for me was like I already had a board, so like I didn't really need it. I mean the flip face down is nice against Kashtira, but like at that point you kind of should just be winning anyway, especially going first. That's the main deck, 42 cards.
Never get to 40, do you?
No, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I had to put in the Gamma Seals. So for the extra deck, 1 Rokalos. I wonder where I got that one from also.
I wonder indeed.
1 Kaleido Heart. Of course, like these are staples, they don't need explanation. This card, I was kind of like 50-50 on this card, but it actually does come up sometimes. So I would rather like have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The extra deck is really, the extra deck is really tight. Like there's only one change I would make, and I'll explain that after. 1 Winder for the Beast, 1 Garura. Again, this card is essential. A worst case scenario, this card is like a draw. This card is really good. If you noticed in my main deck, I'm not playing Polymerization, so I'm not playing Guardian Chimera. Chimera is a very, very cool card, and it's a very good card, but the issue with Chimera, especially in this deck, is like if I could make it in my opponent's turn, like it would be insane. But because I can't, like Branded can, I just don't think it's like as good. Like I never want to be using those resources to make Chimera. Like I understand why people play Chimera, but like I'm playing enough bricks in the deck with like the Mekanko engine and everything. Like this is for the Mekanko engine. I play enough bricks in my deck that I don't want to just like add poly and add more. Barone, because yeah, it's Barone. Or Baron de Fleur. 1 Redo. This card is important. Now this is where it gets a bit weird. Dagisto Emerald, this card is awesome, and I defy anyone to tell me otherwise, because first of all, it triggers your field spell with the shuffle back, and second of all, like it shuffles back not only like the names that didn't trigger and you want to like put back in deck, but also it puts back like your Ishizu shuffler, not shufflers, the Ishizu monsters. This is basically like just having another shuffler. Of course it's not quick effect, so like it's not as good, but like it does enough for me. And to be honest, there's board states where like you will have like a Rhino Heart and you will have like a random shuffler or something on board, and like you just have no good, like, yeah, you can make Dweller, but again, some matchups Dweller is just not good enough. So just by like making this, detaching, shuffling something back, and then like maybe getting a pop off the field spell can be really, really important. Beatrice, again, 1 card Beatrice with Mekanka. A Rise Heart, again, like this is maybe something I would consider cutting, but when I cut it, like I really missed having it. literally just to make Zeus usually, but it just puts pressure on Kashtira. And again, if they Shangri-Era, you can literally just slap it on top of either of these, which is really cool. This is why people are playing this card, because like if you make the Kashtira, you can just slap this on top.
Who doesn't love a free rank 8 rank 7 Xyz monster?
It's great. And then finally 1 IP and 1 Sprint. I didn't play this atrocious Mecha Phantom Beast combo with Cherubini because it's just so weird. Like, I would rather keep Femre as an interrupt and like turn the Tearlament Kashtira into an IP, because then like this gives you follow-up for your like it lets you make the sprint. And also with the Beatrice, like if you open like Fenrir plus Diviner, like it's just everything.
Rest in peace, Elf.
Yeah, Elf, rest in peace. The card needed to go though. Like the card was so insane.
It was very broken.
3 Kurikara. Of course, like everyone knows how good this card is. I was on this card before it got the hype. I mean, like, yeah, I played this at YCS London. I've been playing it beforehand as well. That's why I'm only playing 2 Gamma Seal, and I'm usually siding out the Gamma Seals and putting in this. This card is awesome.
But it's not an artwork.
3 Lancia, because, like, actually people think this card is, like, not that good. I actually humbly disagree. The main reason you have to play it in this is because if you get de-shifted, like, not only is it peak, but, like, you literally can't play the game. So you can actually pass. You can Lancia in their turn, and either they can't play if you're playing against Kashtira, or like at least you can play in your opponent's turn, which is obviously like the advantage of playing this deck, like being able to interact with your opponent. Thrust, because this card's nuts and it's really important against Kashtira. For the search targets, I'm playing Tactics, Duster, Change of Heart. Again, these are self-explanatory, really good cards. You steal your opponent's Arise Heart, you make a Zeus. Also, I actually stole my opponent's... So I was playing against Kashtira, and I opened this, and I essentially, the guy, this. So I Change of Heart targeted the Arise Heart, and he chained Lance. So then I talent, searched for this, and then just took the Shangri-Era and made the... Yeah, this card's so good, just because Rise Heart's a mandatory effect. 1 Evenly, again it's searchable, and 2D Barrier. I needed like 2 more cards for going first, and unfortunately this is just like the best card you can play going first. Into like Branded, and it's a bit annoying because it cuts you off, but this card is also like okay going first into like Trap Tricks and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say it's great, but like having this like is sometimes better than just like cards in your main deck which are just dead in that matchup, or like just not good in that matchup. So yeah, and that's it. Like my overall thoughts on the deck is like, obviously it's just not, obviously everyone knows it's not the power level it used to be, but at the same time, like I do think like the deck has more potential than people give it credit for. Give it a try, you know, like don't just write the deck off, because it's still great. And the main reason I'm playing this is just because it's so much fun. Like I think it's so important right now with the way the meta is to like play something you enjoy. Obviously this list might change slightly, especially with Cyberstorm Access coming out very, very soon. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching.